judgment spin round. No curved thoughts, circle madness, flat horizon in this noisy sound.
Hi folks, welcome back to my channel. My channel is called You Think, and on this channel I want you to reason and think, question what we are taught in the education system and in the media. Ask your own questions and draw your own conclusions. In this video I'm going to look at some high altitude balloon footage which clearly demonstrates that we are not living on a ball earth. It demonstrates that the earth is flat and that the sun is a local light. We're going to have a look at a video posted by a person called Flat Earth Math, who tries to tell us otherwise. We're going to question what he says, and we're going to see, is what he's saying, is it true? So we're going to put him to the test. So before we look at the footage, I want to ask you something. Do you think you can trust what your eye sees? We know the story of the emperor with no clothes. Right, so you can see that the emperor has no clothes. Now if someone says to you, well, we've got math to prove that the emperor has clothes, but it's just invisible. So who are you going to believe? So can you trust what your eye sees? I'll give you an example. When I was at art school, so when I was younger, I went to art school, I studied fine art. And I've been doing it my whole life, involved in cinematography and photography and so forth. We're told that the statue of David was carved by Michelangelo, and he used a hammer and a chisel, and he carved this out of solid marble. Well, even at that time we understood that this is simply not true. No matter how gifted an artist you are, it's just not going to happen. But like all things, you know it's nonsense, and when you do your exams, you just write the same bullshit down that they told you, and you pass and you get on with it. It was only years later when I understood the meaning by looking at the name. So David is not David in the Bible. David means beloved. Michelangelo means an angel who is like God, who tries to be like God, a divine angel. Buonarroti means blessings. So is it just a coincidence? So as I see it and I understand it today, that this is a carving of Apollo or Satan. There was a god that was worshipped at the time when the statue was created. It could have been around the period of the Greeks and the Romans, when they were world power before they were destroyed. So the issue that I have is that if you don't question and reason and think, the education system can turn you into a deaf, dumb, blind statue. Right? You get a mortarboard hat, what goes on top of the mortarboard? Cement. So your eyes can't see, and your heart, which is the seat of understanding, be able to discern between right and wrong, it fails you. Right? So you become like a useless statue. That's the issue with the education system. So you need to reason and think. So how important are your eyes? Well, when Jesus Christ was on earth, he said, see to it that you're not deceived. That means your eyes are important. It's within our power to reason and think and to look and understand. It's not that difficult. There is no deception that is so complicated that you can't see it and understand it. If you just look, it will become evident. So for example, Ezekiel, the Creator said to Ezekiel, I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit within you. I will take the heart of stone out of your flesh and give you a heart of flesh. I'll put my spirit within you and cause you to walk in my statutes. So, statute, heart of stone, statue, it's not coincidence. And you'll keep my judgments. So, you'll be able to make discernments. Your heart will help you to make a judgment. Is something true or false? So, do you understand what the Creator was saying to Ezekiel? And now this applies to me and you as well. You need to have that heart of understanding, and you need to have eyes. So we're going to use our eyes and our heart to reason and think. So can you trust what your eye sees? Absolutely. So I'm going to put these things to the test. So before we look at that footage, I'm going to show you a few things that as an artist that I understand and that I learned. Look, if here's a camera, the camera's above this ball Earth, and you can see the sun in front of you. Where must the hot spot of that sun be? Well, depending how far away it is from that ball, the hot spot must be on the other side, not on your side. You must be in the dark side. The light side would be the other side of the ball. Now let's apply that to a flat level plane. Here we have a flat level plane. There's a balloon with a camera on. As this balloon rises, the surface has a specularity, and that's the hot spot. If the camera rotates 360, it will see the horizon 360 degrees. If I move that light, the shadow must move. The light must move. But if I have a ball, the hot spot and the shadow must be on the other side of the ball. I must be in the dark side. In other words, I can only see the light in front of the ball if I'm on the night side. The hot spot and the shadow must be on the opposite side. So I can see the hot spot in the middle, I can see the foreground, and I can see the horizon behind. That means the light must be between yourself, the light must be between the camera and the horizon, so the light can't be 95 million miles away. The sun cannot be far away. So look at the footage. Where's the sun? It's not 95 million kilometers away. So remember, look at the time. If it's 12 o'clock midday, so let's just say 10, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Can I see the horizon and the sun in front of me? No. The sun must be 95 million kilometers above your head, and where must the hotspot be? Underneath the camera. Do you understand? So, these guys, we're going to look at the footage now. These guys go out in the morning. It's a 4-hour flight. This is the footage they take. Throughout the entire flight, they see the sun in front of them and the horizon behind the sun. They're in Norway. So why is this important for us? Well, the sun, if you're saying the sun's a ball, the sun's on the wrong side. Because they're on the day side. That means the sun must be behind them. You can't be in Norway, facing Norway. North is in front of you and the sun's in front of you. The sun must be behind you because you're in the daytime. So let's illustrate it like this. Let's look at time. If you go out in the morning, you must be on the day side. Your camera must be facing Norway. Right? Your camera must be facing north, those set of groups of islands in Norway. If that camera rotates 360 degrees, can you see the sun? The answer must be no. The hot spot must be below you, not in front of you. So the sun's in the wrong place. So let's reason and think. Right, for you to see the sun in front of you, and you can see Norway, the landmass in front of you, you must be on the dark side. And then for you to see the hot spot in that position, the sun must be above your head. So the sun's in the wrong place. So that footage clearly shows that there's a problem if you believe you're living on a spinning ball. There's a problem. The footage shows that we are living on a flat, non-rotating platform.
Noisy sound. Sky reads no edges, sharp lines. Drums pound, dreams wake confusion. Stars blink in the dark ink. Truth under our illusion. Question in the skyline. Flat earth truths we cry. No curve, no bend, just go. Reality bites, how far will it show? Whoa. 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 Chemtrails trace mine's maze. face shakes the ground we stand. Shout out to the endless plains. No ball in this rockland. Spin it all but it stays. Push it but no sway.
If you're saying it's a ball or there's a curved horizon, that camera must rotate. Remember, that camera's swinging and spinning around from this balloon. The ball can't stay in front of the camera. So from your perspective, this ball would have to swing and rotate in front of you. You can't see the horizon in front of you all the time. If you look at the footage, and all this footage, what do they show? That it's a flat, level horizon. The camera rotates, sees the horizon in front of it, and the sun is a local light. So we'll deal with the time later on. Look at the footage.
Spin it all but it stays. Push it but no sway. Horizon speaks, no edges in this rock we stay. Question in the skies lie. Flat earth truth we cry. No curve, no bend, just go. Reality bites, I'll follow the show. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa.
You can see behind the hotspot, and the sun is between yourself and the horizon. It's obvious. Where's the sun? It's above the hotspot. That means the sun is between the camera and the horizon. It's clear as daylight. You just need to use your eyes and use your heart to discern and understand. So if the camera is swinging around and it's a ball, the light source must be in front of the camera, in front of the horizon. So what would the footage look like? So if this is what you're seeing, then the rest of the world beneath you must be in darkness. So the sun clearly isn't 95 million kilometers away. So if the sun was, you see that small ball in the background, that small light, that would be the sun. It would be swinging wildly. So the sun moves with the hotspot in the video footage. It shows you that the sun is in front of you, between the camera and the horizon. So look, here's a person, he's been through the education system, he's just an ape right? How many pieces of paper and degrees does it take to turn this ape into a sensible human being? Well, you can give him 1,000,000, it's not going to help. He's already been bamboozled by the system. He's a part of the system. He's been completely brainwashed. So can you trust what your eye sees? Answer is yes. The emperor has no clothes, he has no clothes. Right? The education system has no clothes, it's valueless, it's just a show. It might look fancy, but it's a show. So think of the emperor as the education system. It's just bullshit. As the problem is that those in charge of you, that you give authority over you, if they have heads and hearts of stone, then they are just going to produce disposable humanity. And that's what we see in the world around us. That the people in control who have taken power, and they have no real right to be there, right, unless you give it to them. So you give them the right to be there, and these people that you give authority over you have heads and hearts of stones, then you can't cry when they dispose of you. If you put Satan in power, right, then you can't cry when he slaughtered you. Look, he has to die. Which one do you prefer? Well, you're going to die. It doesn't matter. You die. You play with the red one, you play with the blue one. If they own both, does it matter? The best bet is not to play the game. You see, they bamboozle you. Which one is the best one for you? You can vote for the red one, you can vote for the blue one. You don't understand that both the dice are rigged, so you lose. Alright, so let's have a look. When the devil wants to bamboozle you, he's going to send you a monkey to do it, right? And let's have a look. Here's a monkey, flat earth, math. Right, we're going to listen to what he says. He's going to come across as being reasonable. We're going to analyze what he says. And remember, if someone deliberately lies to you or deceives you, they are not your friend. It's your enemy. You need to understand that. Right, so he says, well, we need to use critical thinking. See to it that you're not deceived, which is a good thing. Right, so now let's listen to him and see what he says.
But let's examine both these claims with a bit of critical thinking, specifically research and analysis, leading to an evaluation. Does this evidence really support our claim? Is this image the only view of the horizon? Is there any lens distortion? What does the rest of the footage show?
Right, see to it. Right, so he's deceiving you. Look, if you have a camera that hasn't a rectilinear lens, there's going to be severe distortion. If your camera, it can be in line with the horizon, but it's tilted upward, then you're still going to have a curved horizon. But he fails to mention that. Why? Because he's bullshitting you.
Center frame and concave up below the center. But what happens when our original image is curved, such as the curved horizon expected from a globe Earth seen from high altitude? Again, it's concave down when above the frame, and it's undistorted when it crosses center frame, but when below center frame, the curve can be seen to straighten out. Thus, when dealing with barrel distortion, identify the exact center of the frame and you can get a sense of the true shape of the image only when it crosses that point. We'd expect concave down distortion. But what about 2 seconds earlier? Bingo. We could see the true shape of the horizon when it crosses center frame. Thus, the original claim of a flat horizon was a classic case of cherry picking. Let's turn to the second claim.
Right, so do you understand how he's deceiving you? So how else can we put what he says to the test? Well, it's so simple. Look, if that's the ball earth in front of the camera and the camera is rotating and swinging around 360, the ball can't stay in front of the camera. What would the footage look like from the camera's perspective? You would see the ball spinning around in front of the camera because you're on top of a ball. Right? So this man is a fool. Right, so how can this flat math idiot see that what he's saying is absolute garbage? Well, it could be that he's a deliberate liar, or he's completely bamboozled. Either way, he's talking nonsense. So whenever look, here's some school kids, and there's something that's so simple. You have to ask, how is it that they don't see it? It's because they've got eyes that are of stone and a heart of stone. They can't understand. They can see something and not understand what they're seeing. So they send the camera up, right? They got the footage. They get a flat earther, and they want to go and tell the flat earther and bamboozle him and say, well, you can clearly see the curve. So in the video footage, they're spending all this time looking for this stupid curve. And it's the curve of the lens, and they put a ruler on, and they don't understand. How dumbass must you be? Don't you understand? What do you think? Do you think that if the camera turns around, that the ball stays in front of the camera, whichever direction the camera swings, that the ball is bouncing up and down, that the curve of that ball is always dead center of the camera? You're a stupid idiot. You can't understand something simple because your eyes are stone, your heart is stone. If you're saying there's a curve and the camera is spinning around, the ball can't stay in front of the camera. It's common sense. So how is it that their eyes and their mind, their heart, cannot understand something so simple? And the simple truth is that they're victims of a cruel system. Right? Their leaders have heads and hearts of stones. And they become disposable. Look, if you live your whole life believing a lie, you are born, you go through the education system, you don't question it, and you believe a lie, and then you die. What was the value of your life? Okay, even if you make money, and you die with a lot of money in the bank, what was the value of your life? It was nothing. Because you believed a lie your whole life.
Very picking. Let's turn to the second claim. Is that really a hotspot? Or is there another way of getting that?
Right, so remember, what he's saying, if for this lady to have the hotspot, where must the sun be? The sun must be behind the photographer, so that the hotspot can be on her cheek. You can't see the hotspot on her cheek and the sun on the other side of her face. Right, so yeah, he's guy, flat math, the monkey, trying to bamboozle you.
Shiny reflection. So here's a woman getting a little sun. She's got a hot spot on her cheek, but no hot spot to the left or the right. But you might say her cheek is actually closer to the sun. But what about her?
So remember, this guy, he comes across as being your friend and he wants to help you. No, he's betraying you. He's a betrayer. Right? The devil just sends a monkey to bamboozle you because that's all he has. Remember, Tarzan is king of the apes. He's not king of me and you and a thinking, rational human being. Because a thinking, rational human being will never go along with Satan's bullshit. So remember, Jesus said to it, see that you're not deceived. So, look. The light must be on this side. So if I can see the light in front of me, the curve in front of me, and the hot spot in front of me, then the light is between myself and the horizon. The light can't be 95 million miles away. The light is local. It's obvious. Right. So the camera on the balloon can't see the hot spot if the hot spot is on the opposite side of the copper drum. So if the sun is 95 million miles in front of the camera, you can't see the curve and the hotspot together. It's just simple.
But let's examine both these claims with a bit of critical thinking, specifically research and analysis, leading to an evaluation. Does this evidence really support our claim?
Right, so remember, now it's time for you to reason and think. Use your eyes and use your mind and draw your own conclusions.
For a very rough estimate of 7:42 in the evening. But here's the key question. Has the sun ever been directly above Norway? SunCalc gives us the Greenwich hour angle of 83 degrees west and a declination of about 20 degrees. This translates roughly to 20 degrees north latitude and 83 degrees west longitude, not far from the Cayman Islands, where the sun can be seen directly overhead at that time of the year. The effect on the ground is called Lahaina noon, where the sun is directly at zenith. The images are so striking they look photoshopped, and objects
The sun is above the Antilles, right? So it's that group of islands: Cuba, Jamaica, Barbados, and those islands in the Antilles. Right? So he's saying it's midday, it's 12 o'clock, it must be 12 o'clock. Well, then you can only see the sun from Norway at night time. Do you understand? So everything he said there was just complete bullshit. So think about the seasons, think about where the Antilles are, think about where Norway is, work it out. And you can work it out. The Earth's flat. So, there's another issue that's going on. Proverbs 27:11, where the Creator says, "Be wise, my son, and make my heart rejoice, that I may give an answer to him who is ridiculing me or bringing reproach." You see, who would be at fault? If the lie is so absurd and unbelievable, and the majority of humans fall for it, then the fault must be with the Creator in His creation. Right? And not the fault of the deceiver. The problem with that is that it just takes one or two people not to be deceived. And then the deceiver then is the one to blame. So that's why these people, it's so important for them, is to put the blame on God and not on Satan and on human beings. So ultimately, look, if you don't use your eyes and you've been deceived and your heart's been bamboozled as to not to see, it could be because you're not asking the questions and you just believe what you're told. It's part of the problem. So look, I hope this video gives you pause to reason and think. Cheers and thanks for watching.
Freedom's brush painted loud, screaming on.